guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm trying one of the new BH Cosmetics Halloween palettes. So I ran over to my Ulta store because I saw that they were carrying some of these in store. Figured it would be faster than waiting for the mail to come. So I have one of the palettes. I have some thoughts. So if you guys are curious, just keep watching. If you are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Karen Harris. I like to film tan girl friendly makeup videos here on my channel. I have an obsession with green eyeshadow palettes. You'll see it today because I did grab some of my other favorite green eyeshadow palettes from BH Cosmetics to compare with this new palette. So if you like green eyeshadow, if you like new makeup, if you like me, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Give this video a thumbs up, and without further blabbering, let's get into it. Okay guys, so this, I saw a teaser because Ulta actually had this in one of their like magazines. So I saw this was coming and I saw the brush set and I sent it to my friends and we were all excited. I didn't realize they were going to do a whole collection. So there are 6 eyeshadow palettes as part of like the Halloween collection. There's this one called Absinthe. Absinthe? I don't know how to say that. Absinthe. Yeah, that's how you say it. Sorry. Oh my gosh. Abstinence. The Abstinence palette. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, there's 5 other ones. I can't remember all the names, but I'll post the pictures just so you guys know. But there's a purple one, a blue one, an orange one. I think there's like a red one. And then there's like a smoky one, so there's quite a bit of variety. The first thing I thought of when I saw these palettes were the ice cream shop palettes, and I really like those ones. So of course I have my pistachio palette right here with me. It's my total fave from BH, and when I saw the pink one and the orange kind of one, or was it? Yeah. I saw the pink one and an orange one in person. And I just could not bring myself to give BH Cosmetics $15 extra because it just looked way too close to my Sweet Shop palettes, which I have in a blue, a pink, and a like orange type shade situation. So I figured, let me just grab one, let me grab the greens, bring it home, compare the two, see if the other ones are any different, and go from there. But just off of like not having even swatched this green palette yet, I feel like they're way too similar. If you already own the ice cream palettes, you really probably don't need this. That's my assumption. We'll put that to the test. I haven't even taken the plastic off yet, but here's what the palette looks like. So here it is out of the packaging, and yeah, I don't know. I just felt like it looks so much like this. You know what I mean? To the point where it's like, why would you need both? Like, I love green eyeshadow, but I just was like, what the heck, BH? Like, you guys really trying to dupe yourselves here. So I just think between all of the BH palettes I currently own, even just the ones they've launched this year, I feel like I could probably dupe this entire Halloween palette. I mean, obviously there's a place for something like this for all of you and your collection, especially if you like green eyeshadows or other colorful eyeshadows, but holy smokes. So let's swatch, and then I'm going to do an eye look, but we're going to start off with the swatches. So the shade Trippy is the first shade, and it's a light green matte. Don't get me wrong, I love colors like this. I'm really hoping this is that BH formula I like, but I just feel like I recognize so many of these shades already in my collection. So from all of the green BH palettes in front of me, I don't see an exact shade of green that's similar, like a light, but there is a shade called Soft Serve in the Ice Cream Shop palette, so I'll swatch that next to it. I mean, it's a more yellow tone light green. We also have the shade Nutty, so I'll swatch that, which is a little bit darker. But I feel like if you wanted to maybe mix those two together, there's also the shade Chill Pill in the Say palette. So, you know, there's a lot of green matte options within the BH line. Probably not the exact same, but still pretty freaking close. Next, there's a shade called Unleash Spirit in here. So I'm going to swatch that. It's another like more minty matte green. And I don't think I have anything similar really, but maybe the shade Dessert. That one's more like a true minty shimmer shade, so that's not close either. I don't think I have exact dupes. I really don't, but I'm just saying, like, how many green eyeshadow palettes are they going to launch in 1 year? So that's the shade Blackout. So it's like a nice dark green color. I'm going to compare it to Cone or Cup from the ice cream shop. Did you see that swatch? The ice cream shop palettes are so pigmented. We also have the shade Over It from the Let That Ish Go palette. That one is very similar to the shade Blackout here. So those are like the first row of mattes in the Absinthe palette. And I'm gonna probably have to wipe them off because I'm probably gonna run out of room here if I'm gonna swatch dupes next to all the shades. So the next 6 shades are all shimmers in this palette as well. And I think that was the case with the 2 other palettes I saw at the Ulta store. I didn't check online how many mattes and shimmers are in each palette, but just so you guys know, I'm pretty sure the ones I saw in store also had a row of 3 mattes and then 2 rows of metallics. Okay, so the next row we have 3 shades. We've got Another Sip, The Goblin, and Urban Legend. So these ones look like they're almost like a satin, I would say. And then the last row looks more like heavy metallic. But I'm just saying that like based off of just looking at them. So there's the 3 from the actual Absinthe palette. Now I'm going to compare Dessert from the Sweet Shops to the shade Another Sip. And I mean, the tone is like very slightly different, but it's really not that different in my opinion. And then we have the shade The Goblin, which is kind of looking like, does it look like any of the colors in front of me? I don't think I have an exact match for the tone of that eyeshadow with the few I have in front of me, but maybe I can swatch maybe the shade called, no, I don't think I really have one for the Goblin. I mean, I'm sure I've got something close, but I don't want, oh, let me swatch the shade Emerald. No, that one's definitely more down here. So this is the shade Emerald from the Birthstone palette. Very close to that shade Urban Legend. I also thought maybe Treat from the Sweet Shops would be similar. That one's a little more blue than the shade Urban Legend. And then we have Enthusiastic from the Peridot palette. So that one's also like a more blue green. And we've got the shade Extra from the Avocado Toast palette. Let's see, that one's like a darker green. And I also have Green Juice from the Avocado palette. That one's more like a grayish green. So I think that, again, there's not a ton of dupes exactly, but very, very similar. And listen, I justify all the green eyeshadows, but even for me, it's getting a little sketch here, guys. Okay, so now I'm going to swatch this last row. So we have Green Fairy, Elixir, and Lucid Visions. And these ones seem to be like the really sparkly shades. So I'm very, very excited. There's what they look like on my finger. Give myself a little space. Oh, smells so pretty. So there's those 3. Okay, now let's see if we have dupes. So I'm thinking the shade Sweet Life from the ice cream shops. Yep, that's pretty close. Then we have this palette, which is the Let That Ish Go palette. And there's a shade called Good Karma in here. It's more like an army, but still pretty freaking close. I gotta be more careful because I keep dropping palettes, but I have hardwood floors now. I can't just drop my palettes and think they're gonna be okay. Okay, Avocado, maybe Green Juice, but I'm not completely convinced. I'm gonna pass. And then Emerald and Peridot, I think, don't have any. but I feel like that the two I swatch are pretty close. So just want to let you guys know. And now I'm going to swatch the shade Peridot to compare with that light green shade. So very similar, just like a tone difference. And then Shake It Off from the Let That Ish Go palette. Very, very similar. And then there's no similar shade in the Ice Cream Shops palette. So hopefully you guys can see that. And then the last shade is that beautiful shade called Lucid Vision. It's like a beautiful blue-green color. So I think Crunch from the Sweet Shop might be close. Enthusiastic from the Peridot palette. And maybe the shade Emerald from the Birthstones. So let's see here. So not exactly the same, but again, I think they're so close, like so close, where if we took them all out of the palettes and made one big green palette, it would really be just like so similar that I don't know. I don't know if I can justify telling you guys like, spend your $15 on another palette, and I just bought one. I feel like if the one green one has so many dupes within the BH line already, all the other color combos might also have dupes. I'm not so sure about that smoky toned one, but even still, it does feel a little excessive. Like, I love eyeshadow. I can justify all kinds of money being spent on eyeshadow palettes, but I just feel like they're almost to the point where they've definitely like duped themselves at this point. But I have most of my makeup done, so let's go ahead and play with this palette, see what the quality is like. So far from the swatches, I'm pretty impressed. It definitely feels like that good BH quality, so that makes me happy. So let's do a quick eye look. I'm just gonna grab this Sigma brush. This is from a really old eyeshadow palette that I don't own anymore, and I'm gonna go into the light matte green called Trippy, and I'm just gonna throw that into my crease. I should have dusted my brush off because I just got a whole ton of fallout on my inner corner, but that's okay. I really wanted to post my September haul video today, but gosh, this palette, I just feel like I haven't really seen anybody post on it yet. And so I thought maybe it would be fun to get this video up because I know a lot of you are really excited about this collection. And you can use that drugstore discount code that Ulta always has where you get $3 off a $15 purchase. So I only paid $12 for this palette, which I love for me. I love that there's so many affordable green eyeshadow palettes now. Whereas when I first got into makeup, I really don't think we as makeup lovers had as many options as we do now. And I do love that there's no like light beige color in this palette because that's so boring and annoying to me. I know for some people it's like essential to have like a brow bone highlight in every palette, but you can just use a highlighter. Like, you don't have to have a dedicated brow bone shade for that. So I'm just gonna dust off the green shadow, but I'm gonna use the same brush and I'm gonna go into the shade Blackout, which is that dark green right here. And I'm just gonna coat the brush really nicely, dust it off, and I'm just gonna put that on the outer corner. This palette is gorgeous. Listen, there's no denying, like, it's working really nicely. I just think if you have the Ice Cream Shops and just knowing like there's a Sephora sale coming, there's a, you know, probably another BH collection coming before the holidays, do you need to double up on another green eyeshadow palette? That's what we're trying to figure out, right? I mean, obviously I did it, but I bought it so you wouldn't have to. That's the whole point. That's why we exist as YouTubers, to buy makeup and test it out and review it for you guys. This is so pretty. Oh my god. Okay, this green. This green is doing the most, girl. The most. So I'm wondering, I'm curious if you guys care, let me know in the comments. Do you guys think I should do a Q&A? Because I'm gonna have this baby in like a month, and I don't know if you guys have any burning questions to ask me about baby or the house or anything like that. So I'm just wondering, would you guys like a Q&A? If you would, can you leave me a comment letting me know? And maybe you can just leave the questions too in the comment, and I can like compile them and answer them in like a trying new makeup / chatty get ready with me for you guys. Only if you want, otherwise I won't do it. But I don't know, I think it'd be fun to include y'all in some baby questions if you have them, but I'll make it a separate video so people don't have to like sit through baby content if they don't want to. But yeah, I'd love to hear your opinion, and YouTube's like my biggest platform, so I figured I should ask here. I was thinking of doing like a community post about it, but I don't know, since I have you guys' attention with green eyeshadow, I figured I should ask here. Okay, so those two mattes blended stunningly. So I'm just gonna go straight into this last row and use them on my lids. So this is a dual-ended brush. So one side is a flat shader brush, and I'm gonna give it a little spray, and gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous green. So this brush has such a funny story attached to it. This brush came in the first ever Sigma palette I purchased forever ago, and I don't have the palette anymore, but I kept the brush because the Sigma brushes are so good. But this formula was so not good that it had me avoiding Sigma for so long. And then I finally tried the Corda Rosa palette because I thought it was the most stunning neutral palette, and what, like a year and a half later, here I am like in love with Sigma, trying out every single one of their new collections. And yeah, I couldn't be happier with how far they've come. It's so nice to see companies that have actually like improved over the years, and oh, their stuff is so nice. Anyway, sorry, I'm getting distracted. But anyway, beautiful metallics, so easy. This is the BH formula that I know I love, so I am very, very pleased with how this palette performed. I honestly had no doubt that it was gonna be good from when I swatched it, just because I had so much experience with BH, but I really wanted to point out how similar I thought these palettes were to some of the green palettes they've already launched. And I just thought that was important because I do want to save you guys money in the end of the day. So I'm just putting on this green eyeliner from ColourPop. This is, I think the shade is called Canopy. It's from the Lush Life collection. Let me see. Did I get that right? Oh, yeah, I sure did. That doesn't happen very often. You guys know I am loving a product if I remember the name because I try to rotate through my products quite a bit, and you guys know how much stuff I have in my collection. So when I remember something, especially a name, something obscure like that, it's a big deal. I have been contemplating too, more feedback requests. Would you guys like to see a like fall favorites that is like everything other than eyeshadow? Because I did a eyeshadow palettes that are like perfect for fall video, but I thought maybe I could do like a video with like some blushes that I would recommend for the fall season, and maybe some like lip products and things like that that I don't really talk about too much. So I don't know, let me know if you'd like to see something like that, because I would love to film one if you guys are interested. I definitely have a vibe for fall, like this lip shade from Alien. I've been wearing it all week last week, and I bought it into this week too because it's such a pretty formula. This is Leaves by Alien Cosmetics. I'll link it in my description box for you, and I do have a code with them if you want to use it as well. Okay, so I just put this shade Trippy on the lower lash line. I'm going to put a little bit of blackout on the outer corner, and I think I'm going to use this shade called Another Sip, which is that pretty like minty green shade. And I'm just gonna put that as my inner corner pop. Oh my gosh, that inner corner shade is so stinking beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to spray my face, I'm going to put on some mascara, and I'll be right back to talk to you guys about my thoughts on this palette. Okay guys, so here is the final look. I had so much fun putting this together. I will honestly say this was such an effortless, easy thing for me to do. And if I can do it, you guys can definitely do this as well. So I think it's an easy eye look. The palette performs great, just like what I'm used to with the BH formula that I love. My dog is in here and he decided to scratch. He's usually prominently featured on my Instagram stories if you guys want to check him out. I don't think he liked that. Anyways, like I was saying, palette is super easy to use. Again, I just feel like if you have some of these other BH palettes that I talked about, so the pistachio, the Let That Ish Go, the peridot, the emerald, the avocado toast, you might not need to pick up the Absinthe palette. It is amazing though, and I do love that there aren't a ton of neutral shades mixed in, so maybe it's worth picking it up for you guys if you love green eyeshadow palettes as much as I do. I'm personally glad that I only picked up the green one. I do feel like the other shades are very similar to some of the palettes in the ice cream shops, except the smoky one, and yeah, everything else I think you can dupe with the ice cream shops. And the ice cream shops has a really beautiful cherry palette too if you like all reds. Oh my gosh, now he's walking around and sniffing. Anyway, I think that's it guys. If I missed anything, let me know down in the comments. I will go ahead and link everything on my face in the description box for you guys in case you are interested in shopping my links. It does help me out. So thank you so much in advance, and I will see you in my next video tomorrow. Bye guys!